You're listening to the CyberWire Network, powered by N2K.
We're so done with New Year, New You. This year, it's more you on Bumble. More of you shamelessly sending playlists, especially that one filled with show tunes. More of you finding Geminis because you know you always like them. More of you dating with intention because you know what you want. And you know what? We love that for you. Someone else will too. Be more you this year and find them on Bumble.
Ransomware, supply chain attacks, and zero-day exploits can strike without warning, leaving your business's sensitive data and digital assets vulnerable. But imagine a world where your cybersecurity strategy could prevent these threats. That's the power of the ThreatLocker Zero Trust Endpoint Protection Platform. Robust cybersecurity is a non-negotiable to safeguard organizations from cyber attacks. ThreatLocker implements a proactive, deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity, blocking every action, process, and user unless specifically authorized by your team. This least privilege methodology mitigates the exploitation of trusted applications and ensures protection for your organization 24/7, 365. IT professionals are empowered by ThreatLocker application allow listing, ring fencing, network control, and EDR solutions, enhancing their cybersecurity posture and streamlining internal IT and security operations. To learn more about how ThreatLocker can help mitigate unknown threats in your digital environment and align your organization with respected compliance frameworks, visit threatlocker.com. New details emerge about Chinese hackers breaching the U.S. Treasury Department. The Supreme Court considers the TikTok ban. Chinese hackers exploit a zero-day flaw in Avanti Connect Secure VPN. A new credit card skimmer malware targets WordPress checkout pages. The Banshee macOS info stealer has been updated. A California Health Services Organization reports a data breach. A Florida firm pays a $337,000 HIPAA settlement following a 2018 breach. Samsung patches Android devices. A Proton Mail outage hits users worldwide. A popular e-card site recovers from malware. CertBite segment host Chris Hare interviews our guest Casey Marks, ISC2's Chief Qualifications Officer, about the future of certifications. And that's a feature, not a hack. It's Friday, January 10th, 2025. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your CyberWire Intel Briefing. Happy Friday, and thanks for joining us here today. It is great to have you with us. New details have emerged about Chinese hackers breaching the U.S. Treasury Department's unclassified systems, revealing they targeted its sanctions office in addition to the previously reported hack of other Treasury systems, CNN reports. The sanctions office had recently penalized a Chinese company for cyber attacks, raising questions about whether the hack was retaliatory. The breach also affected the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S., which oversees foreign investments for national security risks. This comes as the committee gained new authority over real estate deals near military bases, an area of growing concern for potential Chinese espionage. While no classified information was accessed, officials worry that the stolen unclassified data could still provide useful intelligence for Beijing. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen called the breach a blow to U.S.-China relations, emphasizing the need for stronger cybersecurity measures. The Supreme Court is considering whether to block a law that could ban TikTok in the U.S. if its China-based owner, ByteDance, doesn't divest by January 19th. The law, enacted with bipartisan support, aims to address national security concerns over potential Chinese government influence on the platform. TikTok and users argue the ban violates First Amendment rights. During oral arguments, TikTok's attorney denied direct Chinese control and compared the divestment to shutting down a U.S. newspaper under foreign pressure. Mandiant reports that Chinese hackers have exploited a zero-day flaw in Avanti Connect Secure VPN appliances since December, deploying malware such as Spawn, PhaseJam, and Dryhook to steal credentials, API keys, and VPN session data. CISA has mandated remediation by January 15th. Researchers warn of widespread exploitation targeting credentials and deploying web shells for future access. The attacks, linked to Chinese Silk Typhoon hackers, follow recent breaches of the Treasury Department systems. A new credit card skimmer malware targets WordPress checkout pages, injecting malicious JavaScript into the database's WP options table to steal sensitive payment details. This approach evades detection by bypassing theme files and plugins, enabling covert operation. The malware dynamically creates fake payment forms or intercepts real ones, capturing credit card information in real time. Data is encrypted and sent to attacker-controlled domains. To mitigate risks, experts recommend checking HTML widgets for malicious scripts, applying security updates, and using firewalls and two-factor authentication. The Banshee macOS info stealer has been updated to target systems using the Russian language, according to Checkpoint. Initially launched in 2024 and sold for $3,000 a month, the malware collects data such as passwords, browser information, and cryptocurrency wallets. After its source code leaked in November of 2024, antivirus detection improved, but concerns grew over new variants. Recent updates removed restrictions on targeting Russian systems, and Banshee is still spread via phishing websites and fake GitHub repositories, likely by former customers or new actors. California's Baymark Health Services reported a data breach affecting patients' personal information, including names, social security numbers, insurance details, and treatment information. The breach, linked to a cyber attack between September 24th and October 14th, 2024, was discovered on October 11th. Baymark Secured Systems launched an investigation with forensic experts and notified law enforcement. Impacted individuals received formal notifications and 1 year of free credit monitoring. Baymark says they've since enhanced their security measures to prevent future incidents. Florida-based USR Holdings has paid a $337,000 HIPAA settlement following a 2018 breach exposing the personal information of nearly 3,000 patients. The breach occurred after a firewall misconfiguration allowed unauthorized access, resulting in data deletion. HHS found multiple HIPAA violations, including insufficient risk analysis and backup procedures. USR agreed to implement a corrective action plan and will be monitored for compliance. Experts emphasize robust data backup, disaster recovery plans, and proactive monitoring to prevent similar incidents. This marks HHS's largest HIPAA fine in 2025 so far. Samsung Mobile has released its January 2025 security maintenance release, addressing critical vulnerabilities in Android and Samsung devices. The update resolves 5 high-priority common vulnerabilities and exposures that could allow attackers to execute arbitrary code, risking sensitive data and device control. It also includes 22 Samsung-specific patches. Samsung urges users to update promptly for improved safety, device performance, and longevity. Proton experienced a major worldwide outage yesterday, disrupting services like Proton Mail, Calendar, VPN, Drive, Pass, and Wallet due to network issues. The outage began at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, leaving many users unable to access their accounts. Just after 12:30 p.m., Proton Mail was restored, with all services back online right around 1:30 p.m. Proton apologized for the disruption and continues to investigate the issue. Users initially reported error messages when attempting to access affected services during the outage. Malwarebytes uncovered a cyber attack dubbed the ZQXQ campaign, targeting groupgreeting.com, a popular e-card site used by major enterprises like Airbnb and Coca-Cola. Exploiting seasonal traffic spikes, attackers injected obfuscated JavaScript to redirect users to phishing sites or malware. The campaign shares traits with the NDSW NDSX and TDS Parrot malware, known for large-scale infections and traffic distribution system tactics. Over 2,800 websites have been affected. Group Greeting quickly resolved the breach. Adam Gaudiak, CEO of AG Security Research, has exposed vulnerabilities in Microsoft's PlayReady DRM technology, enabling unauthorized access to streaming content keys. His research highlights flaws in Microsoft's protected media path and Warbird compiler, raising concerns about unauthorized downloads from services like Netflix and HBO Max. While Microsoft initially dismissed the findings as implementation issues, Gaudiak advocated for compensation outside the bug bounty program, citing extensive effort and intellectual property concerns. When no agreement was reached, Gaudiak provided technical details to Microsoft in November of last year without seeking payment, later disclosing limited public details to raise awareness. Critics argue this case underscores flaws in bug bounty programs and responsible disclosure practices. Casey Ellis of BugCrowd stressed the need for standardized terms and coordinated disclosure, warning against tactics resembling extortion. The incident highlights ongoing challenges in balancing researcher incentives, corporate responses, and public accountability. Elsewhere, Facebook awarded a $100,000 bug bounty to researcher Ben Sadaginpour for discovering a critical vulnerability in its ad platform. The flaw, linked to an unpatched Chrome bug, allowed Sadaginpour to execute commands on Facebook's internal server, granting extensive access to its infrastructure. Working with Alex Chapman, he reported the issue in October of last year, prompting Meta to address it within an hour. Coming up after the break, Chris Hare interviews our guest Casey Marks, ISC2's Chief Qualifications Officer, about the future of certifications. And that's a feature, not a hack. Stay with us. And now, a word from our sponsor, KnowBe4. It's all connected, and we're not talking conspiracy theories. When it comes to InfoSec tools, effective integrations can make or break your security stack. The same should be true for security awareness training. KnowBe4, provider of the world's largest library of security awareness training, provides a way to integrate your existing security stack tools to help you strengthen your organization's security culture. KnowBe4's Security Coach uses standard APIs to quickly and easily integrate with your existing security products from vendors like Microsoft, CrowdStrike, and Cisco, 35 vendor integrations and counting. Security Coach analyzes your security stack alerts to identify events related to any risky security behavior from your users. Use this information to set up real-time coaching campaigns targeting risky users based on those events from your network, endpoint, identity, or web security vendors. Then coach your users at the moment the risky behavior occurs, with contextual security tips delivered via Microsoft Teams, Slack, or email. Learn more at knowbe4.com/securitycoach. That's knowbe4.com/securitycoach. And we thank KnowBe4 for sponsoring our show. Do you know the status of your compliance controls right now? Like, right now. We know that real-time visibility is critical for security, but when it comes to our GRC programs, we rely on point-in-time checks. But get this. More than 8,000 companies like Atlassian and Quora have continuous visibility into their controls with Vanta. Here's the gist. Vanta brings automation to evidence collection across 30 frameworks, like SOC 2 and ISO 27001. They also centralize key workflows like policies, access reviews, and reporting, and helps you get security questionnaires done 5 times faster with AI. Now that's a new way to GRC. Get $1,000 off Vanta when you go to vanta.com/cyber. That's vanta.com/cyber for $1,000 off. Chris Hare is host of our recurring Cert Bite segments, and today she sits down with Casey Marks, ISC2's Chief Qualifications Officer, to discuss the future of certifications.
So I love your title, by the way, Chief Qualifications Officer. Can you tell me a little bit about your role?
So in my role at ISC2, what I'm responsible for is the maintenance and the development of our certification portfolio, our certification schemes, the examinations, the prerequisites, the CPE requirements. In addition to that, some of the foundational elements at ISC2 with regard to our definition of practice through our certified bodies of knowledge, and then, of course, how we engage in practice and through our code of professional conduct and so our ethical canons. So all of the elements that require a member to be able to demonstrate their knowledge, skills, and ability kind of roll up into the qualifications area.
Great. And you also have a background as a psychometrician, which involves test design and analysis, correct?
That is correct. Yes, I am not a psychologist, and I don't prescribe to drugs or conduct therapy. But what I do is crunch a lot of numbers, and I've been doing it for almost 30 years, and across a number of different disciplines, including nursing and language testing and what have you. And so psychometricians are a slightly a rare breed. But what we do is we ensure that exams are fair, reliable, and valid, which really means that every candidate who takes an exam has an equal opportunity to pass. The exam does what it's supposed to do, and we can prove it, and it does it repeatedly. And so that's exactly what a candidate expects 10 years ago and 10 years hence. And so we keep doing that to ensure that we have fairness for all who participate.
So what are you seeing in terms of trends and shifts in certification growth?
Right now, we're seeing a tremendous amount of uptake. We're seeing a lot of interest across the spectrum, whether it be in industry, academia, or from a government perspective. And I would say that in particular, governmental interest with regard to professional qualifications is growing quite rapidly within the cyberspace. And so traditionally, security issues around cyber has been thought of more from an industry standpoint as a product issue. And certainly privacy issues around that, but the actual qualifications and standards for individuals who engage in security activities within cyber has become important, growing in a number of different areas, not just within the United States, with things like 8140 at the DoD, but in the European Union, attestation schemes for certified professionals, licensure schemes in the United Kingdom, and a burgeoning interest with regard to professional qualifications and professionalization in Singapore. And so you're seeing a very global shift towards ensuring that the people who ply this trade have demonstrated their qualifications in a robust and valid way.
And are there any specific ISC2 certs that you see a particular uptick in currently?
Yeah, so I think everyone and anyone who knows about ISC2 certainly knows about CISSP, which is as strong as ever, continues to grow, and day by day continues to become the defining gold standard for the cybersecurity professional. But we have a couple other certs that certainly have been growing in popularity, and probably the most notable over the last few years has been our CCSP, which is our cloud certification. Cloud obviously has been important, continues to be important, and will continue to be important. as the demand grows. We have our new certified in cybersecurity, the CC certification, which has just exploded on the scene. And so that continues to grow. But across the entire portfolio, we're seeing a tremendous amount of interest and growth. And we don't see signs of that slowing down anytime soon.
So you don't see any signs of it slowing down. Does that mean it's going to stay pretty steady throughout 2025?
We expect that it will. ISC2 does a number of research studies, including our annual workforce study, which is a survey of professionals in the field and assessing their opinions with regard to readiness and availability and the ability for their workplace to be able to respond. And there's definitely an interest and an expressed preference among professionals that they need help. They need more people. They need more people. Their teams need to be bigger. They need more tooling. They need more resources. The threats don't slow down. They only increase. Today's world with ever increasing mechanization and in automation, and whether it be through AI or otherwise, is only increasing the amount of activity that professionals have to deal with. And so there's definitely an expressed preference and expressed understanding that we need more people. And so more people, we can't just throw anybody at this problem. Cyber is an identified profession. We need certified people, and we need good people who have already demonstrated that they know how to do the job before they get there.
And your ISC2 team has also undertaken a BHAG with your 1 million certified in cybersecurity program that you mentioned with the free certification in cybersecurity, or CC, which I'm happy to say I am a holder. How did that goal come about, and how is it coming along?
Yeah, the CC has been a tremendous, maybe one of the most significant things that this ISC2 has done in a number of years. So we identified a pretty significant problem in the field, and that was, so how do you get a job without experience? How do you get an experience without a job? Classic conundrum. What we did is we developed an entry-level certification. It's a real professional certification. That allows individuals who are starting off, the novice practitioner, to be able to demonstrate to a third party their seriousness with the pursuit of the profession. And so the certification, we have a program around it, the 1 million CC program, that allows people to get free education and a free examination voucher to become professionally certified. And so what we're trying to do is provide that base, the future generation of cyber professionals, and giving a good starting off point.
And so, Casey, you mentioned continuing professional education credits. So what are some of the best ways you recommend members can earn CPEs?
Excellent. Yes, thank you. So CPE being a core requirement of all of our certification schemes, every single member at ISC2 that holds one of our certifications is required to be able to do this, like many certification programs. And the best ways, the good news is, yes, there's a lot of CPEs required. Yes, it's an annual requirement. Yes, it's on your 3-year cycle. However, the amount of opportunities are tremendous. You can take courses, you can take certifications, you can take training. At ISC2 alone, there are events to be able to attend. There are webinars. There are volunteer opportunities, of which there are many. And don't have time to go into all of them today, but I can tell you for the certified member, you have a right and I would hope a responsibility to give back. And as I said before, in terms of developing these certifications, we need experts. We need subject matter experts of all types. Please consider giving back. You get CPE credits for that. We also have a couple of initiatives I can talk about at a very high level. We are right now endeavoring in an activity in terms of taking our individual certification bodies of knowledge and creating a unified body of knowledge, which requires expertise from the field. That volunteer opportunities are available there. And we are engaging on a review of a code of professional conduct. And so we have a call for experts and volunteers in the field, again, for which you get volunteer credits and CPEs. And I'd say lastly, is if I was to promote a little bit at ISC2, ISC2 does have a charitable arm. Our Center for Cyber Safety and Security also has a number of different volunteer opportunities, which are always a really good way to give back. CPEs at ISC2, we have a couple different schedules of CPEs. So I would suggest that anyone who is interested in these opportunities, take a look at the handbook that's available on the website at isc2.org, and you can see a multitude of opportunities. And a super number of freely available CP opportunities. So there's a lot to go after.
That's great. Well, I have to promote I have a segment called CertBite that I host. And what I do is I break down a single practice test question from our base certification offerings. And ISC2 is featured in some of our upcoming episodes in January. So I look forward to hearing what you think of them when they come out.
Excellent. So on the website right now.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. And thanks so much for taking the time with us today, Casey. I hope you come back.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate your time.
That's N2K's Chris Hare speaking with Casey Marks from ISC2. And now, a message from our sponsor, Zscaler, the leader in cloud security. Enterprises have spent billions of dollars on firewalls and VPNs, yet breaches continue to rise by an 18% year-over-year increase in ransomware attacks and a $75 million record payout in 2024. These traditional security tools expand your attack surface with public-facing IPs that are exploited by bad actors more easily than ever with AI tools. It's time to rethink your security. Zscaler Zero Trust plus AI stops attackers by hiding your attack surface, making apps and IPs invisible, eliminating lateral movement, connecting users only to specific apps, not the entire network, continuously verifying every request based on identity and context, simplifying security management with AI-powered automation, and detecting threats using AI to analyze over 500 billion daily transactions. Hackers can't attack what they can't see. Protect your organization with Zscaler Zero Trust and AI. Learn more at zscaler.com/security.
Rated RP to M. You're listening to an ad for PC Game Pass. Want new games on day one like Avowed or Football Manager 25? Say nothing if you're getting excited. Thought so. Did I mention legendary franchises like Diablo? And all for one low monthly price? 3 words. We got you. Learn more at xbox.com/PC Game Pass. Some games reference coming soon. Game catalog varies by region and over time. Any questions? I'm just kidding. I can't hear you.
And finally, the Register describes Mac, a developer for a SaaS business management suite catering to non-English speaking European markets. One uneventful Wednesday, Mac's day took a twist when a user reported the app mysteriously displaying English, a language the app didn't even support. Cue the panic. Logs and deployment history were combed for signs of sabotage. Had the app been kidnapped by rogue translators? After much sleuthing, the culprit emerged. Chrome's overly helpful Translate to English feature, accidentally triggered by the user. The fix? Explaining how to disable the translation. The takeaway? Helpful features can cause chaos too. Mac and his team chuckled and sighed as they filed this one under Crisis Averted, glad it wasn't a hack, just Chrome being a bit too helpful. And that's the CyberWire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. Be sure to check out this weekend's Research Saturday and my conversation with Kyla Cardona and Aurora Johnson from SpyCloud. We're discussing their research. China's surveillance state is selling citizen data as a side hustle. That's Research Saturday. Check it out. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. This episode was produced by Liz Stokes. Our mixer is Trey Hester, with original music and sound design by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Eiben. Our executive editor is Brandon Karp. Simone Petrella is our president, Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here next week.